What does a seasoned and experienced politician think when he looks at the bizarre nature of the Republican primary and some of the Democratic politics in this country as well? Independent former Governor Jesse Ventura, the 38th governor of the state of Minnesota from 1999 to 2003, the author of 6 books. His most recent 63 documents the government does not want you to read. He's the host of TruTV's Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura and his website, weain'tgotttimetobleed.com. On the line with us, Governor Ventura, welcome back.
Hi, Tom. Great to be back. I apologize for last week when I was supposed to be on. It was strange. I was in the middle of another interview, and there were 3 beeps on my phone, hardline, and it went dead, and it took a day to fix it.
Okay. Well, maybe it was the FBI. Who knows?
I don't know.
Or the aliens.
I'll tell you, you do Conspiracy Theory, the TV show, and you become paranoid of everything.
It was the pigeons. But that's a whole nother rant. Anyhow, if the Republicans want to turn our political system into a reality show, here we've got Donald Trump and Newt Gingrich, and the solution to childhood poverty is to pick 10 poor kids out and let one of them win the lottery. And the solution to childhood poverty is to take poor kids and have them clean the toilets of their wealthier peers in their public schools. And then he's going to do this reality show, and Huntsman and Ron Paul have said this is beneath the dignity of the presidency. But why not just toss them on a remote island, throw in Grover Norquist, their lord and protector, and let them play Survivor for a few weeks and see who comes out alive.
Well, it really, to me, Tom, it's a flash of what our society has turned into today: entertainment.
Yeah.
And they're now turning our political elections into entertainment. They're out for ratings. Probably the networks are involved in that. The higher the ratings, the more money they can bring in. And I think it's part of the corporate takeover of what's happening in the country. They're turning our elections into a fraud if they're not there already.
I absolutely agree with you. And in fact, I noticed this first in the 2000 election, in the coverage leading up to it, and it was even more obvious in the 2004 and 2008 elections as emerged not just voices on the right, Fox News and the mainstream media, but also voices on the left with MSNBC and others, that it seemed that the really corporate media, the large media machines, whenever in the primaries or in the general election, let's just take the general election as an example, whenever one candidate, Republican or Democrat, was up, they would have on people trashing him. Whenever the other one was down, they would have people lifting them up, always trying to maintain this 50-50 horse race, which gets more and more people. I mean, everybody loves a 50-50 horse race. If it's obvious that one candidate's going to win, people don't tune in. They don't get as many eyeballs. They don't make as much money from advertising. Does that conspiracy theory make sense to you, Jesse?
Well,
Governor?
First of all, let me state, let's clear something up. When you say something conspiracy theory, right away there's a connotation that you don't believe anything and that all of this. I always counter that by saying, let's remember something. Gravity's also a theory.
Yeah, well, I don't mean this as
off the building. You can find out it's real.
Yeah, I see this as the natural outcome of back in 87 when Reagan did away with the Fairness Doctrine, and in 96 when Clinton signed the Telecommunications Act, and it was after 96 when Clinton signed that the all 3 networks used to have standalone news divisions that actually lost money because they did such a good job of reporting and gathering the news. They had bureaus all over the world. They all moved them under the arm of the Vice President of Entertainment, and so they are all now run by their entertainment divisions, and we no longer have news, we have infotainment.
Yeah, and also credit 60 Minutes for that.
How so?
Well, 60 Minutes was the first. They did some good work on there, don't get me wrong.
Oh, back in the day.
But they were the first news reporting show that got ratings. So the light went off with the bean counters. They said, well, you mean we can make money with the news? And It was at that critical juncture that the news no longer was into enlightening you or informing you. It switched over to entertaining you.
And that would have been in what, the 80s, the 90s?
Back in that era. But, 60 Minutes when it rose, because, every week on the top 10, 60 Minutes would be 1 or 2 in the ratings.
Right. What do you think?
It drew a huge audience, and that's when they said, you mean, that's when the switch happened where news used to lose money and it was made up for in the entertainment division.
Right, and now news makes money along with the
now
entertainment
all of a sudden news can make more money actually than the entertainment division probably can.
Well, especially when they're promoting a movie that happens to be coming out from the same company that owns the parent company, or they're promoting a new weapon system that's coming out from the same company, or a war that's coming out from the same company that owns the news company.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
You know, I also want to hit, Tom, people need to be informed about my court case because they're not covering it, they're sliding it in.
This is your case against the TSA. Tell us about it.
Yeah, because what the ruling was this. The federal judge, and this has happened on multiple occasions now for everyone who tries to seek redress in some way at the airport. I sued under my Fourth Amendment rights. I was going to sue under the American Disabilities Act because of my hip. I'm technically disabled, but get this, the American Disabilities Act doesn't apply to the federal government.
Yikes. So you sued basically saying that the Chertoff X-ray porno scanners or the groping was an illegal violation of your privacy because you hadn't, there's no evidence that you'd committed a crime.
The key to the Fourth Amendment is the word reasonable.
That's right.
Reasonable search and seizure, and we were contending that it was not reasonable to believe that Jesse Ventura, who's been flying for 30 years, he's an honorably discharged Navy veteran, he's a former mayor and a former governor, poses a threat. Well, what happens is it goes to the federal court, and it's happened in multiple cases. The judge rules they have no jurisdiction. Now, how can that be when it's a constitutional question? Well, what it is, then you have nowhere to go because the federal courts won't entertain it.
So the federal,
there's nothing you can do about it because it's a catch-22. They tell you you're supposed to go to the appeals court because they don't want me in front of a jury. The appeals court is not a jury, of course, but how can you go to the appeals court when you haven't had a case?
Right, because they won't grant it cert. They won't.
And they want to stay away from allowing you to get discovery.
Right. So what are you going to do next?
Nothing. The only thing I can do is protest. So I said publicly, in light of when I was a young man, I saw John Carlos and Tommy Smith at the Olympics in '68 when they won medals for a country that wouldn't even allow them to drink at a white drinking fountain in the South. They had no human or civil rights. They stood up on that Olympic stand, bowed their head and raised their fists in the air, and they were hated. They were thrown out of the Olympics. But today I look back at them as heroes because they stood up for an injustice. They did it their only way possible. So I made the statement as a former Navy SEAL, I will not stand for the anthem ever again until I'm granted my day in court.
Wow. Now, we have just a minute left, Governor. What can people do at weaintgottimetobleed.com or elsewhere to support you in your case against the TSA, or is that just dead?
It was interesting, Tom. I got no support. Where was the ACLU? Where were all these organizations that are supposed to be protecting our Bill of Rights? Nobody came forward in support of me. Nobody. I stood alone, like my second book, Do I Stand Alone?
Wow.
I felt like it.
Well, I'm with you.
Well, thank you. I know people are, but people need to wake up. They need to be aware, too, of this McCain-Levin bill, where they're going to call the United States a battlefield.
I know. It just got passed.
That will allow. Here's what I want to say, Tom, to all veterans and current military personnel. Remember, you took an oath to defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights against all foes, foreign and domestic. Do not forget your honor.
Yeah, there you go. And domestic. Governor Jesse Ventura, weaintgottimetobleed.com. The author of 63 documents the government doesn't want you to read. Governor, thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.